we've got a little bit of a special switch to start the day. This is Switch Lite. It's been sent in by another YouTuber. It's been sent in by Switch It Up YouTube. So Switch It Up YT, I think, is the handle on YouTube. So should be interesting. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. I think it does turn on, but I think it's no display. Okay, so we get 0.6 amps or 0.06 amps, and it don't seem to be charging. Sorry, it don't seem to be displaying, but I did try and turn it on the other day and I heard something come up on it. So yeah, it looks like it's just not charging at all. I'm getting 0.06 amps current draw. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's no display and it might actually be turned on, but just not displaying anything on the screen. Because I did hear something the other day when I tried to turn it on when it first turned up. Yeah, so when this makes a video, I'll leave it in the top pin comment, a link to the YouTube channel for this, the owner of this Switch. No SD card, no game. Today's video is sponsored by PCBWay. Whether you've got a simple project that requires a quick mod board or you want to launch your own products to the world, PCBWay can help. With fantastic pricing on multi-layer PCBs, flex PCBs, 3D printing and even laser cutting solutions, you're sure to get everything you need all in one place. Custom PCBs start from just $5 for a 1 to 2 layer board with a fast 24-hour build time and free shipping on orders over $30. PCBWay are also proud to announce their new aluminium PCBs, which start at just $120 per square metre. Check out what PCBWay have to offer by clicking on the link in the video description or the top pin comment and get your project started today. Thanks again to PCBWay for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to the repair. First thing I think I'm going to do is just try that in another housing. Because like I said, it did attempt to boot up the other day. It did make a sound like it wanted to boot. So I'll just remove this from hither. Pop that in there. I know this is a different colour, doesn't matter, it's just for testing. But I know all of the parts in this switch are good. Right. Does this attempt to boot? It does. So it looks like we do have a screen issue. Yeah. So that's booting up. It appears to be working. So it looks like we've got a screen issue. Either a screen issue or a sideboard issue, one of the two. That does not look like a genuine sideboard to me. So I'll try that first before I go replacing screens. That's why it's good to have good test parts on hand. Question is, does a backlight come on this? Let's find out. No, it does not. Or at least not when I press the power button. 0.46 amps. No backlight. So we've got no backlight working on this screen. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, the sideboard itself is liquid damaged. You can see this here. What about this flex ribbon? Yeah, damaged backlight ribbon. Well, that sucks. Although, not the end of the world. Looks like the main ribbon here is damaged. The main pin here is damaged. I could technically just jump that and it should work. Let me see the cap 2. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not. That's not been tinned. Let me just remove this speaker. Get rid of that. And that. It doesn't look like we've got too much wrong with the backlight board, or what, rather with the Joy-Con board. I'd have to test the buttons obviously, but I could just jump this wire, this trace, and that would save the customer a fair bit of money, and I think that's probably going to be the cheapest solution, to be honest. Can you put better sticks in the Xbox Elite Series 2 controllers? If so, how much do you charge? There's a couple of options. You can buy the replacement sticks. I'm not sure how much they cost, so I'd have to get back to you on that. But then you can also get the TMR sticks, I think, as well. I'd have to get back to you on a price though, because I don't know the cost of them these days. It's not something I normally do. I can do it, but I don't normally do it. In terms of fitting, I'd charge £25 fitting to fit new sticks. Just tin a little bit of wire. Right, where's my blade? There you are. Oh, I'm going to be careful with the IPA here because I don't want it to go in the screen, just in case the screen itself is good. I'm going to be careful how much IPA I use. Alright, let's try and get that in there, see if it goes in. Might be a little bit tight. There we are. Cool. Let's see if we've got continuity. Make sure it's making it. Make sure all the pins are making a contact. That's what she said. I really don't want to repair the traces on this customer ribbon. Yeah, I mean, it's more about cost effectiveness, really. I mean, one thing I don't agree with is running a jumper, for example, from the ribbon to the back of the connector. I do not agree with that at all, and the reason for that is because that's a permanent wire. For example, if I was to solder it from here to here, that's permanent, and it means you can't take this board out without breaking it. Whereas this is fine. Right, that one's got continuity, not short to the one next to it. Continuity, not short to the one next to it. Yeah. Continuity, not short to the one next to it. And continuity, yeah. All of those are making contact. So, that appears to be absolutely fine. So, yeah, like I said, the reason I do this, rather than replacing the entire screen, is because a new screen, just to buy the screen, costs £30, right? So, if I repair this by replacing the screen, Number one, I've got to destroy the screen protector, which means that's going to have to be replaced. I've got to put heat on the board, on the housing to get the digitizer off. And then chances are I'm going to damage the digitizer and have to replace that. Then I've got to pay for the screen as well. Or rather, the customer's got to pay for the screen as well. So they've got to pay for a screen, potentially a digitizer, and then the labour. Whereas this, there's no parts. It's just labour. So instead of charging 80 quid for a repair, I can charge 50 quid for a repair. Customer's happy, I'm happy, save me time, save money, everyone's a winner. And it means we get to repair something instead of recycle it, instead of replace it. Repair, reuse, recycle. That's the motto. So if this works now, we're good to go. Time to test it. Come on, show me a display. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. It is booting up and turning on, it's just not displaying. Damn it. I have a feeling that my sideboard is knackered as well. So I'm going to change that. Because now it should have it should at least have a backlight where it hasn't. So we should at least see a backlight light up, and we're not. I'm going to try changing this sideboard. Well, I'll have a look at it as well. Thank you, dude. Yeah, definitely do. Thank you, buddy. Baby cakes, you just don't know how I like it down low. Right. Well, it's not damaged on the other side, but let's just try another board anyway, just in case. I'm not seeing any damage on the flex ribbon either. Right, I'll just partially screw this in. Get that in there. Before I plug it back in this side, unplug the battery so as it's turned off. Now, does it display? Yep, we've got a backlight and a display. Boom. There we go. Right, I'll have a look at that board in a second, see if I can do anything about repairing that. But, yep, not seeing any liquid damage on that screen. And we now don't have to replace it. Good stuff. Happy days. Let's have a look at this board quickly. So, yeah, there's definitely some liquid damage around there. So this is the backlight connector here. It could literally just be that connector. Yeah, that pin's damaged. Yeah, okay. So that pin there is damaged. What's going on here?
Bits just resubscribed for 21 months. Good morning, Philbo.
Good morning, mate. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that, Nimble. It could be. Hang on. Let's get this on an angle. Right. Okay. It's burnt out the pin here as well. So to repair this, I'd need to replace both those connectors. So this one here, as you can see there, that pin's burnt. But if you follow that trace up through there, and it goes to one of these pins here, probably this pin here, what got burnt out on the ribbon. But we'd have to replace this connector here and this connector here, which, to be fair, probably not really economically viable to do. I mean, I will keep these for spare parts, but we could probably resolder it, but never mind. Yeah, probably not worth fixing, just replacing those connectors, just because of how cheap these boards are. They cost like £5 or £6 to buy. They're not expensive. Alright, but yeah, that's all working. I can get these all put back together now and give it a full test out. Make sure everything's good, and I'll just keep this working board in there. Little trick for these, not that one, that one's the wrong one. Little trick for these, if you want to get that button aligned properly, you can pop out these buttons like that, and then if you drop that on there, you can line it up, screw it in, and then just pop the button back on. So pop that button in there, and damn it, I've left the freaking button out. I left the back button out like a numpty. There we are. Just get all that realigned. And then if this wants to play ball, there we are. I'll shut that down a second. Right. Touchscreen works. Controllers and sensors. Test controller buttons. Huh. What happened then? Why does that? Huh. Okay, we have an issue with the sideboard. The power button presses the left analog down, and the left button does as well. Yeah. Huh. I've never come across that before. Okay. What the hell is the deal with that? I guess I'm going to have to change the sideboard again and find out. Alright, well I can change the sideboard without taking everything else back out, apart from that back plate, so I've got to take that back off. This is why we do tests after we repair stuff, because we have to make sure, we have to be 100% sure that everything is working, because if I didn't test that, it would go back and I'm sure the customer would be pretty pissed. So I'll try another board, and hopefully it is just a board issue. Could be analog is water damage and the button press short something else out. It can, but it's also doing it with the L button as well, so I don't see how that would be the case, but it is possible. Certainly a strange one, isn't it? I've never come across that before. Don't worry, while this bottom ribbon is not plugged in, there's no power going through this backlight. Power going to the LCD, but just not the backlight. So it's fine to mess with as long as I don't plug that ribbon in. Right, let's try that again. Yeah, it's a board issue. Yeah. That was weird. So there's something wrong with that board. I'll probably use that board and this board to make one good board. You know, I'll just nick the connectors off it, sort of thing. Yeah, okay, so just a sideboard issue. Nothing too major. There we are. Let's just test a game card. Minecraft. Is Minecraft on here already? Yeah. So do not delete Minecraft. My game's a bit dodgy, it might take a while. There we are. Yeah, alright. Yeah, my game's a little bit dodgy at loading up. It's getting old now, it's a test game, etc, etc. So, yeah, there we go. That all seems to be working. Let's just test the analogs. Okay, it does lose connection there, so if I just calibrate that. Yeah, so it's slightly off center. There we are. Now it's not losing connection because it's calibrated. And it goes dead center. Cool. Let's do this one. So even if it looks like it's centered and stuff, it could still have an issue. I mean, that one's a little bit loose, but it is okay. I'm going to calibrate it anyway. Yeah, it is off center. Very slightly. Yeah. Cool. Good. Job's a good one. This switch is fixed. Yeah, so this wasn't that bad. I mean, yes, I could have just replaced the screen. Yes, it's easier. But number one, it's not quicker. And number two, it's more expensive. So I'd rather repair the actual backlight if I can. Another option would be to take a scrap screen with a broken LCD and take the backlight from it, because it's only a strip of LEDs. They just sometimes don't go back together properly. I can't see any liquid damage on this screen, and the rest of the screen seems fine. Touchscreen's working. So I think in this case, repairing the backlight is better than replacing the entire screen, because, like I said, it's going to be fitting fee plus the cost of the new part if I do replace the screen, whereas in this case, it's just labour only. And then obviously the cost of one of these boards as well, which, you know, they cost like no more than a tenner each. So yeah, happy days. Saves the customer the cost of a new screen. And as you've seen numerous times, I've unplugged it, plugged it back in, so you can unplug that screen and plug it back in with the jumper wire on it. It's not going to hurt it, it's not going to damage it, and it means that we can repair it again in the future if needed. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.